So today I have a bit of a story to tell you, and it all starts on April 15th of 2021. On this day, I posted my first ever Hypixel Skyblock video on TikTok. And although I had played Hypixel Skyblock previous to posting this TikTok, and I had even streamed it at some points, when I did post this TikTok, it was my first time playing the game in well over a year. And so I practically had no idea how to play the game. However, just 2 days after posting that initial TikTok, I decided I wanted to give myself a challenge inside of Skyblock. And I thought, what better a way in doing this than trying to go for rank 1 in a random item. And so after some deliberation with my co-op member, we finally landed on me going for rank 1 in Acacia Wood in Skyblock. And including the content that I've made over the past year or so, you could definitely tell that that did not stick. And after another 10 or 15 minutes or so, I finally landed on sand, the item that I'm going for today. However, before I look at my current leaderboard spot and see what I have in the game right now, I want to take a step back and look at my journey to where I am now. And once I'm done telling that story, I'm going to ask for your help to push me over the top to get to rank 1. However, more on that later. I started to post Skyblock TikToks of random stuff that I was doing in the game as a new player, and I began to notice that some of these TikToks were doing pretty well, sometimes getting tens of thousands of views. And not even 3 days after deciding that I was going to go for rank 1 sand, something insane happened. When I decided to go for rank 1 sand over a year and a half ago, the game was so different. And I got insanely lucky because within 3 days of me wanting to go for rank 1 sand, the Mushroom Island was completely revamped. And this completely revamped island had the new feature of being able to mine sand directly from the island, a feature that you couldn't do before. This made getting sand collection so much easier than it was before, and I knew that I had to start grinding the collection. I started putting in dozens of hours mining sand on the Mushroom Island and making more sand minions for my main island. And within about a month of grinding the sand collection, I got to 1 million collection, ranking me in the top 0%. I continued to mine sand on the main island and spend millions of my coins making minions to get more unique minion slots for my sand. And it didn't even take 2 months of playing before I unlocked my 25th minion slot in Hypixel Skyblock. I continued to play Skyblock and both stream it on my Twitch and post new TikToks, and at the same time I was using almost all of the money that I was making from my minions to put it back into more unique minion slots. And by August, I had almost 28 unique minion slots on my profile. I posted a TikTok on October 22nd showing my sand progress, and I had over 9.3 million sand collection, and I was currently ranked number 158. And by the end of the year, I was almost ranked 70, and I almost had 20 million total collection in Skyblock. However, by this point, it was getting really difficult for me to progress through the ranks of sand, and I had pretty much stagnated out at about 28 to 29 minion slots. However, at the same time, I was still streaming Skyblock as much as I could, and in February of 2022, I got my luckiest break yet in the sand collection. I began getting a ton of different contraband, and I even got almost 2 billion coins in total from one person, and I was able to use this contraband to make my YouTube video of spending 1 billion coins on sand. In those 2 videos I made with the 1 billion coins, I was able to max out my sand minion setup with a ton of different upgrades. I was able to get mithril infusions, flycatchers, plasma buckets, and a tier 5 beacon. And the remainder of those coins I spent to get my 30th minion slot. And in about 2 weeks of using this setup, I was able to fly to about number 50 in the rankings. And not even a month later, I was already top 25 in the sand collection with over 40 million collection. And at this point, it seemed like the sand collection was pretty much maxed at how efficient it was able to be collected. Mining sand itself wasn't super efficient and could probably only gain about 50,000 sand per hour, and completely maxing out my sand minion setup seemed to be the better option. However, this again changed on April 20th of 2022 when Skyblock added the biggest update for my sand collection that they have in a long time. In this update, the Crimson Isles Island was announced, completely revamping the Blazing Fortress. And in this update, a pet was added that makes mining sand so much more efficient. I am of course talking about the snail pet. What the snail pet does is converts all speed over 100 to mining fortune for non-ores. And in my case, this would convert all of the speed that I have on my profile to fortune for sand. Each piece of sand that I mine could give me up to 5 pieces of sand. And this pet single-handedly doubles the amount of sand I can get by mining manually. From all of my contraband that I got earlier, I still had an Ender Dragon pet that I wasn't really using that much. And so I thought it would be pretty funny if I got a Legion 5 G7 P7 set of Young Dragon armor, because, well, it has speed, right? And it must be good for the pet. However, I was completely wrong, as it's actually not even that good, and I ended up just wasting 500 million coins. And I ended up landing on this set, which gives me a ton of base speed, and I've turned all of my accessory reforges to the tune of speed, and I pretty much have the maxed out setup for mining sand. I again started putting in a ton of hours of mining sand manually with my mining setup, and in the middle of July, I was eventually able to get top 10 in the sand collection. And And by the beginning of September, I had reached rank 4 in the sand collection. And as of where I currently stand right now, I am ranked number 3 in the sand collection with 95.4 million sand collected. And here is where I'm going to be asking for your help. In the description, you will see the link to my brand new Discord server that I made a few days ago. I took my old Discord server down and I'm going to be completely revamping a new server and trying to get it active. In this Discord server, there's going to be a channel for different items that I need to get to rank 1 in sand. And I think that if I get enough contraband to have hyper catalyst inside of my minions, alongside with me putting in a ton of different hours for mining sand manually, that within the next few weeks to months, I can finally get rank 1 sand inside of Skyblock. So if you have any coins, items, or other things inside of Skyblock that you can offer me, I highly recommend that you join my Discord server. However, I am going to try to stream as much as I can over the next few weeks. And so if you do catch me in one of my YouTube or Twitch live streams, you absolutely can donate to me there as well. It's been over a year and a half that I have been grinding for this sand collection, and I think it's finally time to put it to an end. And so the grind officially starts now. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you all again when I am rank 1 sand in Hypixel Skyblock. Goodbye!